Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 324
324
of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. We just spent some time with them at Epcot, too.
That's right.
Wishing Illuminations goodbye and saying hello to Epcot Forever, which will not be around forever. But check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. They can get you anywhere you need to go. They are Disney specialists, and we are so happy that they sponsor us.
And it's only about 1 month from Christmas.
It is 1 month from 2 days. In 2 days, it will be 1 month.
That's right.
At Walt Disney World. Plus, you have Christmas on the Disney Cruise Line and at Disneyland.
And don't forget Disneyland Paris.
And yes, I can't wait for Christmas everywhere this year. So also, we're going to be talking about Epcot and the Disney Skyliner at the end of the show. But today, we're going to talk all about Disneyland Paris and the Halloween.
That's right. And happy Halloween. Here we go. It's Disneyland Paris. And this is as you're entering to enter the park, you have to go under the Disneyland Hotel. And on this day was the first day we discovered Mickey in his Halloween colors.
And his mouth is kind of funny. Like, you don't really notice it, but just the way the smile is kind of an interesting...
It just depends on the angle, but
yes.
I think he looks great. I loved seeing Mickey.
Well, I love all the Halloween colors, and we're entering underneath the train station. The train has not been running for like a year now because of some construction and whatever other reasons. And I think they're saying now maybe April. So it will be interesting to see when they finally get that reopened.
So this is the first day of the Halloween festival for 2019. This was bright and early, around 8 o'clock in the morning here on the 28th of September. Halloween started the earliest ever at Disneyland Paris this year.
And we were really fortunate it did. Otherwise, we wouldn't have seen any of the real Halloween day. We were only there for really one full day of Halloween, and we wouldn't have had it not started earlier.
That's right. We had to race back to Orlando to see the very last Illuminations. You know, we could never miss a good goodbye to Illuminations and a hello to Epcot Forever. But anyway, let's talk about Halloween. I'm going to give a little video tour of some of the ghosts and some of the decorations that you see on Main Street here at Disneyland Paris. And I love this. This is my favorite of any park that I've been to for the decorations for Halloween.
And this is actually our fourth time being at Disneyland Paris for the Halloween season. Usually we're there a little longer as far as the season itself, but they started decorations like at least 2 weeks ahead of time, so we were able to enjoy the decorations. I personally love the garland. They started that last year, so I have never seen Halloween garland like that in any other park.
These ghosts remind me of the old animated short Lonesome Ghosts, if you remember that one with Mickey and the gang.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time, but the other ones were like the Dapper Dans, and then we have a variety of some of the ghosts. Most of the ghosts are themed to where they are.
Correct.
Not all of them, but most of them are, but like the pumpkins really aren't themed. Like in the Magic Kingdom, they are.
This is one of my favorite. He's like a French ghost, and he's doing a little painting here, and there is a little Mickey, little tribute to the mouse.
And I didn't even get my picture taken through that, and I usually do each year. So we'll have to go back.
Next year. Absolutely.
I really like Halloween there, and we started actually with the Lion King and the Jungle Festival, which was fantastic.
And this is a little different this year. They have these pumpkins, and you can see them in the background that have live plants in them. So again, that was a little different. And there's that garland that you like so much. Maybe we can get a Winnie the Pooh balloon to get stuck up there. That would be a nice tradition.
That happened last year. And I like all the, when we come in the morning, a lot of times it's kind of a little dark still, and I like that it's all lit up.
So this was new this year. You're seeing Max meeting and greeting for the Halloween season in his brand new outfit. And I like his shoes, kind of look like pumpkins. And I think there's some bats on his vest. Very nice outfit for Max.
Well, Max, I don't think, to my knowledge, has not met here before for Halloween. Every time we come, it seems to be a different character. Marie was here. I think Duffy was here.
Yes, correct.
And somebody, I don't remember who last year. So it's very interesting that it seems like it's like a rotating series of characters. Although now that Max has a new costume, maybe he will be back.
And Max was very good. I mean, this was the very first ever meet, so we were there for his debut, and he took a lot of time with us and really showed off his look, which was very nice.
This was the best probably of the meet and greets because all of the others have been there before, and there is also Goofy at his candy area.
This kind of reminds me of his candy float that he has at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party in the parade, the Boo-to-You parade. It's the standalone version of that, sort of, to me.
Mm-hmm. And unlike the area that we saw Max in, he has been with his candy company at least since like 2014.
Because well, no, 2014 he was in a different location. He's where the Cheshire Cat is.
Right.
Now.
But he's been here for a number of years
right.
now, so he does not move around quite as often as the other characters do.
I like, this is very interesting. We have to say thanks to our good friend Roni over at DLP Licious.
You love to say it like that.
I love to say it. DLP Licious. Go check them out. And he did some great footage for us. He provided us with, also with the Ursula, the Nighttime Ursula show, and he worked really hard, so we appreciate that. So check out his YouTube channel. That's right.
And so here is, okay, I was going to mention, I feel like there's less character meet and greets, a little bit less
There definitely
than usual.
is less this year.
I think Halloween is just a little less than normal. It's still a lot because all guests get to enjoy the characters. They get to enjoy the shows. Here is Stitch. Now, this is like the second or third year Stitch has been in this location. Minnie Mouse was here first, which you can kind of, you have the dots, you know, the mini dots. And so, I mean, it's fun to have them here, but it was interesting that it started out as a Minnie Mouse meet and greet.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. But Stitch is always very mischievous, so I decided to be mischievous too, and I'm telling Stitch I think he needs to come and see something really scary, very, very scary. So I have him come up here and look into the mirror, and he was quite scared of what he saw.
And I actually wasn't with you at this time. I was with a friend of mine, Remy, and we were actually pretty much at the back of the line. I think I see myself.
Yes,
see myself.
I see you back there. Because I was running ahead with Axel, trying to get as many characters as possible since we only had the one day. And of course, we had to have Stitch put his head over the outfit there. That is a tradition every time we do this.
And I got his photo like that as well. But Stitch is really fun, and we're going to meet other characters though, including Maleficent.
Yes, here we are at the Brambles. Now, when we first did Halloween in 2014, all the characters met over here around the Brambles, and I thought it was really great. It was a lot of fun. They had the Hag there, who is one of my favorite Halloween characters.
The Hag by far is the best villain, but Maleficent would be, for me, second.
Right. And I guess it just got too crowded over there, so now only Maleficent will meet over at the Brambles.
But I enjoyed when the Hag would go around chasing people in Town Square.
Oh, that was the best!
That was like the best year ever.
Gaston was let loose there, also running around. And
it was so fun.
Frollo, so many great characters.
So I'm glad we got to experience that. But Maleficent still meets behind the Brambles. Or is it in front of the Brambles? But it's behind Sleeping Beauty Castle here. And she looks disgusted with you for some reason. No.
She always has that look. She should be so happy that we are coming to see her and speak with Maleficent. She has a new movie coming out. She should have took that opportunity to promote it.
You could have asked her about it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But anyway, she was great as always. And again, you had to get here very early. That is the tip. I know they had an hour and a half or longer line to meet her later on in the day. This was the very first day on a Saturday, so keep that in mind. But we went there, I would say, about 9 o'clock, and we waited 1 hour until 10 for her meet and greet. And maybe we were 5th or 6th in line, so it was definitely worth it for our purposes.
Now, Disneyland California also has Maleficent meeting now, not like at the party, the Oogie Boogie Bash, but actually in the Disneyland Park, which is nice. That's something that I don't remember them having anytime recently.
Right, and a lot less time needed to meet her there, a little less, more chill over there in Disneyland.
Well, when characters are out all day, it really helps. And this is Mariachi, Mickey and Minnie. We saw them last year as well, and they're still fairly new. Now, this area also used to have the two Caballeros, and Maleficent Donald isn't around this year.
Oh, that's right. Well, they had Devil Donald also wandering around in this area. This is in Frontierland, right by the Cowboy Cookout, one of our favorite places to dine at Disneyland Paris.
Very French.
Yes, very French. One of my sister commented
barbecue
that
chicken.
All the food we had is not very French, is it?
So anyway, Mickey and Minnie are really fun here, and I think they did a little dance, and they are really a nice meet and greet. They do get a very long line like some of the characters do.
Oh yeah, very, very long. Again, just like Maleficent, up to an hour and a half on a weekend. You can try in the afternoon during the week. It might be a little easier. And I have to thank my good friend Curious Axel for encouraging Mickey and Minnie to do a little dance for us. So much fun.
And we were asked about Axel, and he was with us. He doesn't do the segments for us anymore. He does his own show. He has a really popular YouTube channel himself, but we still hang out with him quite a bit.
Of course. And he'll be here in sunny Florida.
Florida, not
Florida.
California.
I have California on the mind in a few days.
Yes, and and you're going to have dinner with him on Wednesday.
That's right. So now we're going to move over to probably my favorite of all, the character meets, the Cheshire Cat. And this is the third time I think we have seen him.
This is probably the shortest meet and greet every year. This is I guess the third or fourth year.
Third time for us. Fourth time he's appeared.
But he only has like 3 20-minute sets or 4 20-minute sets or something. He's really not out for very long. So his lines not only get long, but he's just, it's not like he's out from 9 to 5. He does not have as much time as other characters do for everybody.
But absolutely worth whatever wait it takes. And it was extra nice because the Cheshire Cat himself gave me some of his candy. Somehow candy was mentioned when we were talking to him, and his helper popped up with a basket of candy, and the Cheshire Cat gave it to. Oh, there it is. And it's really good. It's better candy this year. Chocolate marshmallow, so good. And I still have this one because I couldn't eat it, given to me by the Cheshire Cat himself.
And I think that generally the candy now is given out more to kids, but every now and then they'll hand it out to the adults.
50-year-old kids right here enjoying that candy.
Usually the characters are not the ones passing it out though. And but anyway, this is actually my favorite area that he's been in, and I actually did not meet him this year because I was off
doing
meeting
something
Stitch
else.
or something. Right. But this is in front of the maze.
Oh, what you were doing is you were getting lunch because really needed to on a Saturday. It would have just taken much too much time to wait in line for lunch. So that was good. See, it's a team effort. All of us work together.
I went to
get this stuff
Starbucks,
done.
so in
That's
Disney
right.
Village we ate almost all our meals in Disney Village this year because the restaurants were not as open this year inside the parks.
And of course, Mr. Jack Skellington, they don't seem to call him Mr. Jack anymore, at least not on his merchandise at Disneyland Paris.
No, and I noticed that none of the merchandise said Mr. Jack, where it used to almost all say Mr. Jack. So that is what a lot of that's like his name in French.
Very interesting.
Yes.
I should have bought something that says Mr. Jack, because now I wish I had it. But he is great. He was always, I've never had a bad interaction with Jack Skellington. And he even did his famous Jack Skellington cackle in France, which makes it even better somehow.
And we're over here by Phantom Manor. Now, Mickey met in this location, as we're watching Jack do his cackle.
That's right.
Mickey met in this location in a special costume until this day, until Jack started. He's been out really all year long at this point.
And that was the costume he met us in. We have a separate video. We could link to that. That was the costume he wore when we saw him in the horseshoe.
In the Lucky Nugget.
Lucky Nugget.
Yes.
I'm sorry, the Lucky Nugget.
It is like the Golden Horseshoe.
That's right, Lucky Nugget.
Or the Diamond Horseshoe, but it's the Lucky Nugget. And there are some Oogie Boogie popcorn buckets, which we have seen here.
We have that one, actually.
In Walt Disney World, 2 years ago was it?
Oh yeah. It takes a little while to get caught up, I guess.
I guess. And they're it's actually more expensive than it was here. But one of my personal favorite, probably the thing I love the most for Halloween at Disneyland Paris is Mickey's Halloween celebration. And this is a cavalcade parade, kind of the same thing. And what they started doing last year, in the way they did with Pirates and Princess, and now the Jungle Book Jive, they stop at Central Plaza, and then they have a show stop.
Dance routine, everybody learns it. It's really nice.
So you really want to, if you're going to Disneyland Paris for Halloween, you want to watch it from within Central Plaza, the cavalcade, so you can see the show stops as well. And this is, I really enjoy the characters. I enjoy the music. They incorporated the Are You Brave Enough song. If you've not heard it, you can watch the video. And here are the three little pigs. The only bad thing is it was very busy, and this was our only day for Halloween, and I would have loved to have seen more of the stages, because in Central Plaza there are 4 stages and I only really watched one.
Right. But, I mean, this to me, as you said, very special. The first time we went in 2014 for Halloween, this was, it was just a cavalcade. I think it happened 3 or 4 times, just back and forth, no stage stop. But what I like about it is it's harvest. It's not just scary Halloween. They're also showing harvest time, and that's very unique for a what's known as a Halloween parade.
Right. I mean, it's very autumny.
Very autumn, yeah.
So I think this float with the Pooh characters is a few years old, because I don't think that's been in there all along. I think that was something new a few years back. But the Phantom Manor float that we're going to see is one that debuted last year, along with the show stop.
And one of the very few changes this year is coming up, these costumes that the performers are wearing here, along with Minnie. Minnie Mouse has a new dress.
I think that is a fantastic dress. I remember I put it on Twitter and said, use like the fire symbol, because I just thought, well, look at her hands with the orange gloves, and then you have the orange feet. Like, everything's so orange.
Definitely a improvement. I like the cornucopia, I guess you call it.
Cornucopia,
which is very nice. That used to be the lead-off float when we first started seeing this parade.
With Mickey and Minnie.
That's right.
So Mickey and Minnie used to be together, but they no longer are. Mickey actually appears 3 times, and we're going to see that on the. I don't know if we'll see all 3 times. But
yes, you'll see all the different Mickey ghost appearances, and there's Chippendale and Clarice, of course.
Yes, Clarice. We used to not see her so much, but she was at Walt Disney World for most of this year in the Move It, Shake It,
Dance
and Play It.
Yes.
So Chippendale and Clarice are at the back of the cornucopia. And then, so the Phantom Manor float, which actually they used to call Mickey's Illusion Manor, and they might still, but on the Disneyland Paris site, they call it the Phantom Manor float now, has Mickey, and Mickey appears in 3 different costumes in 3 different locations.
That's right. You'll notice Mickey was just in a green outfit. You're going to see him again in a red outfit. And then when he performs in the show stop, he has a blue or purple, I'm not sure, outfit.
This is a fantastic float. I love how it lights up. You have the little devil nephews on the back with their pitchforks, and they are so fun. And the thing, last year when we watched this parade, we watched from so many different angles. Again, not possible this year, but last year we watched it like twice a day or something every day. And so like when they have the show stop, the nephews were just like dancing up a storm, and it was so fun to watch.
Well, luckily I remembered all that stuff from last year. I knew to get in this position. So this is sort of, my video is a composite of both parades, but I love this entrance. You saw the red Mickey above, and there is the bride, Melanie, and of course the Phantom. And I love their entrance, and that they're actually, they're talking and singing, and here comes Mickey. I guess that is a purple outfit, and he's going to run over to his stage. And we're going to show parts of the Mickey stage and also the Phantom stage, the 2 stages that we were able to see on this visit.
And Roni, again from DLP.
Oh, yes.
Licious.
DLP Licious.
You love to say it like that to him.
I do love to say it like that.
He got the video, and this is what happens during the show stop. There's actually the 4 different stages with 4 different sets of performers and characters. So here is Mickey, and you also have the bride and Melanie are on here, aren't they? Or should be.
No. They're on a different. I'll show that in just a second. Here they are. Here comes.
That's right. They were
Melanie
here with...
is the bride, by the way.
Oh.
So that's okay. We can keep.
I mean, the bride and the Melanie and the Phantom.
That's right.
And then the performers in green, they're the ones who hold the rope at the end of the parade.
Some of my favorite. They're fantastic.
They're really fun.
I showed a little extended footage of them because they are just absolutely wonderful. I love their routines.
Well, last year they really made it almost like their own characters.
And one thing, the fans that go to this, you'll have fans that go and see this parade over and over, and they learn all the moves, and they'll be in Central Plaza doing the moves along with the performers, and that's always fun to watch as well.
And that happens with, here are the, I was mentioning, at the back of the parade.
Yeah, I got lucky. I was able to follow the parade right at the second rope there. This is sort of a show rope, and then there's a real rope, and that's where I am.
And they do, the fans of these shows do that for everything, like Pirates and Princess and the Jungle Book Jive. Like, they learn the dance moves, and one of our favorite cast members, Raphael.
Oh, yes.
He's usually the one who's teaching it, although he was not here in this area on this
And
day.
Disneyland Paris themselves even put out videos for some of these things, teaching the fans how to do the dance moves.
Did they have Raphael?
Tutorials there. It wasn't Raphael.
He should. He should be doing it.
Now, this is all new for this year. I'll let you set it up.
So this year they have a show called Are You Brave Enough? And this replaces a villain show from last year. And for some reason, I keep thinking Villains Mix and Mingled, but that's Walt Disney World.
That's right.
I had
It's
said,
good to be bad with the Disney villains.
Yes. So that other show I really liked. I liked It's Good to Be Bad with the Disney Villains
But
so
Ursula,
much.
you have Ursula.
Yes.
I quite enjoyed it. Now
She's very talented, like for the singing and such. She's very talented, but not a lot is going on the stage otherwise.
Now, depending on what show you see, Ursula might talk in French, she might talk in English, but no matter what, she'll always sing the songs in English. So it's really different every show that you could see. They do have the other villains, though. You say it's just Ursula. That's not the case. All the other villains do come out, and they do perform to "Are You Brave Enough," which I love that song.
I do love the song, but I think that the show before had more of a story. Last year we had Maleficent Donald in it as well.
That's right. I have to say I miss Maleficent Donald. I especially miss the Hag. The Hag was in the show
The Hag was
2
the best.
years ago, and previous to that, the Hag was not in it last year. As a matter of fact, the Hag has not appeared at the Halloween Festival for the last 2 years. So that's very sad. My favorite character is no longer appearing.
Well, if you look at last year while we're watching here, because mostly there isn't really so much of a story to this as there has been before. If you watch our It's Good to Be Bad with the Disney Villains videos from previous years, you'll see, you'll hear music you recognize from Walt Disney World too, because they use It's Good to Be Bad,
Some
that
of the
song.
Booty Parade music.
Yes. And that makes it really fun, and Gaston's all flirty with his sisters. I mean, it was such a fun show.
And you have the Flotsam and Jetsam little characters there. I do like the tentacles on Ursula. I mean, that's very impressive. But I have to agree, overall, I think the other show, probably the show when it still included the Hag, was my favorite version of these Halloween shows.
I miss the Hag, and really when we
How
put
can
up
you
videos, the Hag has been the most popular. So I'm surprised they don't utilize her anymore, except maybe for the they're going to have 2 Halloween parties this year, so maybe for those.
This show is very popular, like everything at Disneyland Paris. I would recommend getting there very early, or get there halfway between a show that's happening, and then when people leave that show, you can move your way to the front and get a good view for the next show. Usually it happens about 20 minutes later.
We were on a very busy day, though. We were on a super busy day, so other days will not be as busy as that.
Also new this year is the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror has had a little change, and I was at a special event, and here we are. We're trying some cocktails. This is a cocktail here that includes rum, and the other one includes vodka. I have no idea what they're called. I don't think they had a name, but it was a nice welcome to the event.
I think they have a name if you look on the menus for I think these are served at the hotels.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would have to look them up. I think everything sort of has a name. They also have not very Halloween-looking Halloween desserts, but they're very villainous. Disneyland Paris is still coming into its own as far as Halloween seasonal desserts.
Now, you just saw some cookies above. I think I'm going to show them again. The Ursula one had a bit of a fruity taste to it. I liked it quite a bit, but my 2 Belgian friends preferred the other cookies, so I don't know what that means.
Well, I didn't try any of these. What I like about Disneyland Paris is they use a lot of Nutella. So when I have something, a lot of times I'll get it with the Nutella, because that seems to be where they excel. You can't really screw up Nutella too much. Or shortbread with Nutella.
So here we are. It's Bellhop Goofy. All these years, I have never met Bellhop Goofy, and he chose me right away, which never happened. So I was so excited to meet him. He was great. It was a fantastic.
He chose you.
Oh yeah, Bellhop Goofy picked who he was going to meet. You know how it is in Disneyland
I didn't
Paris.
know. Well, I can't tell from the video.
And there's
that
Mr.
he did
Curious
that.
Axel. He
Yes.
picked him right after me. So very good luck. Very, very good luck
That's
for
interesting.
Bellhop Goofy.
How many people were like
Big crowd.
Really?
And I walked up and instantly Bellhop Goofy picked me.
That
I
was
very
very nice.
lucky. Yes, very lucky indeed. And here he is, and we're going to pan up and we're going to show the Tower of Terror. Why don't you set up what is going on here? What change has been made to the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror?
Well, the Tower of Terror is actually quite different now, and that's the nice thing is like Disneyland has its Guardians of the Galaxy, and we have our own Tower of Terror. Everybody's is different. And then this one has been reimagined with new storylines, new lights, projectors, and more. And there's this creepy little girl in it now.
The girl is in the pre-show, She's been there all along.
I didn't, well...
She's the one holding the little Mickey doll.
Yeah, but you don't really think
But
about
she's
her.
took a bad turn somehow.
Yes.
Now she's menacing you 3 different times in all the various drops.
I mean, she was part of a group there.
And here we are.
So, yeah, you had a really good time with this. We were allowed 1 person per outlet.
That's
so
right.
Jeff went to this event. They have 3 different drop, and I don't know if it's 3 different drop sequences, but definitely 3 different storylines, including the Malevolent Machine.
Then there's the shaft creatures, which is in the center of the 3, which is my favorite, and the 5th dimension, which is supposed to be the fastest and wildest. This reminds me very much of the Guardians of the Galaxy sequences in Anaheim, California, where it really revs right up to the action. It doesn't fool around. It doesn't have that kind of music, but it definitely has a very spooky feel to it. Something that I haven't seen at a Disney park since Alien Encounter. It really has an element of horror.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it as horror, but very creepy. And it's something that you're really nervous. Is it going to come out at you? But it wasn't quite like if I would ride it a lot, I wouldn't find it as scary. But it has a creep factor that I don't know if you'd ever find here at Walt Disney World.
I actually loved it. I think it's perfect for Disneyland Paris. Rather than just copying the Guardians of the Galaxy, they have something there that's very unique in their own. And I love it. I can't wait to go back. I hope they have some merchandise. I would love to buy some merchandise of this new version.
And it is a new version. It's permanent for as long as permanent is. It's not just for Halloween, although they started it on Halloween.
And one thing that always surprises me when we're at Disneyland Paris is how many people approach us and know us and talk to us. We've met some wonderful, wonderful people, and I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who stopped us and said hi.
And in particular, because he wrote, Gerhard, Iris, and Helga had stopped us, and they're from Germany, and we talked to them for a while in Frontierland. And we didn't even show the Frontierland decorations this time, but maybe in a future show. But thank you to them and for everybody who stopped us.
Yes, thanks again very, very much. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Walt Disney World. We have returned from our trip. There's a lot more to talk about, a lot of coverage from everything that we've done out there, and we'll have that during upcoming shows. But we want to mention the Disney Skyliner, which had a little downtime last night.
Well, we were originally going to do an Epcot show this week, but ended up doing Disneyland Paris, or else we would be talking more about not only Epcot Forever Illuminations, but also the Disney Skyliner, which had an incident yesterday, and it's down now. And I don't know for how long. It could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months. I have absolutely no idea. But we've ridden quite a lot. I don't want to say a lot, but since we've gotten back, we've ridden it quite a bit and have really enjoyed it. So hopefully Disney figures out the issue. And I actually look forward to riding it again.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, it was such a fun ride, very smooth. It was not, I was worried at one point it would be hot, but at least when we rode, we had a very nice breeze, and we rode at day, we rode at night, we had a full cabin. Any possible way we've been to every single different place you can take these things.
That was the first thing really we did when we got back from Disneyland Paris. So, but anyway, we'll discuss that next week, and we'll know more information probably about what happened and maybe even for how long it'll be down for, if it's still down in a week. And we have a lot more coming. We just did the Enchanted Rose, new lounge, Beauty and the Beast inspired at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort. And again, just Epcot, the Epcot experience that just opened as well. So we have a lot to talk about next week that will be here at Walt Disney World.
And believe it or not, that is another show.
That is another show. Thanks to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. We had such a good time with them. Again, saying goodbye to Illuminations, which was very sad, and then saying hello to Epcot Forever, which was
Also very sad.
no.
Little humor for you.
Yes, you know what? I like the kites. I like the fire kites, and I like
Kites
the
on
music.
fire. Can't beat it.
It's a very interesting show.
Yes.
But anyway, we really enjoyed spending time with them, and definitely check them out. And they have been in business for over 20 years now, longer than Illuminations
Yes,
was here.
unbelievable.
Yes. And they have almost 100 agents and can help you. There's all kinds of discounts that just came out for early next year. So ask them about that.
So even though we just got back, we have so much to talk about, as we mentioned before last week, with the ending of Illuminations, the beginning of Epcot Forever, the new Epcot Experience, which is really awesome.
The Skyliner.
The Disney Skyliner, that's right. We have full coverage of that, including some ride videos and all that. Some looking at the Remy Ratatouille attraction from above. And not to mention Gatorland. We've already seen the white gators at Gatorland. That's right.
Enchanted Rose.
Enchanted Rose. I mean, the stuff just keeps coming and coming. All the different interesting things that are going on here at Walt Disney World.
Well, we don't really need to leave the house for a few weeks because I think we have enough stuff to talk about.
That's right. That is absolutely true. So anyway, thank you for bearing with us. I know it was a slight delay between shows, but we're back on a regular schedule now. Thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.